How's it going, everyone? You know what? I just checked the price of gold and silver, and honestly, I didn't even realize that gold had shot up to 13.50 per ounce. And it looks like silver is back around 16, but I don't pay too much attention to the price of gold and silver, at least while it's in this continuation phase. See, in the market, prices can go three directions. They can go up, they can go down, and they can go sideways. For the past few years, the price of gold and silver has been going sideways. Gold has been staying roughly in between like this, like 1100 to 1350 range, and silver, as like a rough estimation, has been staying between like this $15 to $18 per ounce range. It did break to the up and downside a couple of times. It actually recently broke to the downside and got down to around $14 an ounce. And I think a couple of years ago, it briefly broke $20 per ounce. But generally speaking, it has been staying in this range. And I don't really pay too much attention to the price dips while it's in this range, because I think that these price dips are caused mostly by bipolar traders not knowing what to do. So I don't think there is any serious fundamental reason behind these short-term price fluctuations, but eventually gold and silver is going to have to seriously break out of this continuation. And when that happens, it's going to either break to the upside or to the downside. I think that it's going to break to the upside. The main reason why I believe this is because I understand why gold and silver have declined so drastically since 2011. Basically, the reason why gold and silver has declined so drastically since that time is because people think that central banking works. They believe that creating digital ones and zeros and injecting them into the economy is what helped strengthen the economy. But in reality, all it did was, blow up gigantic asset bubbles, incentivize people to go into more debt than ever in the history of time, and it also helped misallocate a massive amount of resources in the economy. But they think that central banking and money creation works because of their erroneous ideas of how an economy operates. It seems like most people today believe that the economy is driven off of spending and consumption. But it is actually the exact opposite which drives and grows it. It is savings and production that drives an economy. But they think that deflation, or in other words, saving money, hurts an economy. They barely understand economics. Paul Krugman might understand the intricacies of fake economics, but I understand the basics of real economics, of sound economics. So technically, I, in a way, know more than Paul Krugman, who is a Nobel laureate for economics. But like I said, these people don't understand economics, and that is why they can only make our problems worse. If you want to eat an egg, right, you need a chicken first. We can't eat eggs without chickens. The chicken is what drives the economy. Increased egg consumption is just a byproduct of a strong economy, but it is not what drives it. It is the chicken. But we need to save money. We need to save it and invest it by either loaning it out to entrepreneurs or by investing it in our own businesses. That is how we grow an economy. But like I said, the price of gold and silver has drastically declined since 2011 because the Federal Reserve was able to convince people that Keynesianism works. And that helped instill confidence in the U.S. economy and the U.S. dollar. But these people are in for a rude awakening. It's hard to say what the price of gold and silver will do in the meantime, but when people wake up, when they realize that money creation and quantitative easing doesn't work, and that the only way to keep the U.S. economy from imploding and keep a lot of people from going bankrupt, including the U.S. government, is by creating more money, slashing interest rates, and continuing to blow up their balance sheet. When people realize this, I'm telling you, the price of gold and silver are going to go through the roof. The Federal Reserve is not going to continue shrinking their balance sheet. That would cause a sovereign debt crisis. Because if the Federal Reserve continues to sell U.S. bonds, the government would have to raise interest rates in order to entice other investors to pick up the Federal Reserve's slack. And that rise in interest rates would make the U.S.'s debt unaffordable. So unless the Fed wants the U.S. government to go bankrupt, they are going to have to keep buying bonds. And really, the problem is even worse in the EU. Essentially, most of the demand for European government bonds comes from central banks. And right now, I think we are closer than ever to people realizing that what the Federal Reserve did not work. The Fed likes to take credit and claims that it worked, but unless they are able to shrink their balance sheet without imploding everything, then it didn't work. And they're not going to be able to do that. But you can tell how the price of gold and silver is going to react when the Federal Reserve admits that it has to reverse course by looking at what is currently going on right now. So the Federal Reserve has recently started to act more dovish. They're claiming that they're going to slow down with interest rate hikes, and just that alone caused gold to shoot up to $13.50. So how do you think the price of gold is going to react when the Fed admits it has to completely reverse course? I think that's going to be the catalyst which causes gold to finally break above $1,400 an ounce. And when that happens, I'll probably just stop buying and sit back and watch the show. So be patient, stackers. Be patient. Our time will come. But anyway, thank you so much for watching, everyone. I'm sorry if this video was a little boring, since it was just me talking over the backdrop of these beautiful precious metals, but I was thinking about starting a podcast. I don't know if you guys would like a podcast or not, but I can't really do much showing during videos like these just because I have a lot of information that I have to get out there, and it's hard for me to articulate it when I'm focusing on showing you beautiful pieces of precious metals. So that's why I kind of just leave this stuff as a beautiful backdrop for you to have some eye candy while I discuss certain things. But if you guys are interested in a podcast, just let me know, because I was thinking about maybe just having a weekly podcast, maybe a bi-weekly podcast or something like that. So please give me your input in the comments below, and don't forget to subscribe, hit the notifications button so you know when I'm putting my content out, and just keep on watching, keep on spreading the message. Thanks so much.